up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I don't know if you guys can hear me that well because it's noisy in here, but I wanted to show you one of my favorite coffee places in Tokyo because, of course, the theme is coffee and music and guitars. That's what we do. So take a look over there at the roastery I'm in. Crazy, they roast their own beans here. It is fantastic. Fantastic spot for coffee in Tokyo. Kind of on Cat Street between Shibuya and Harajuku. So I spent a lot of time there. I still think one page. Back there making good stuff. Do good work. And I'm trying to find a quiet spot here to sit and do the show. Nice little outdoor area here. It's a beautiful day here. Really, really nice. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I got AirPods in, and I know I'm not always convinced that they work better than just the mic on the phone. So let's see. My knees hurt. It's 7 p.m. West Coast time. That's right. Yeah, I just decided to do this now because I was so jet lagged last night. I went to bed at 11:30. I was out, and just thought, oh, I'll just get up in the morning and do an evening one. I'm probably colliding with Ben Coombs' show in Canada at the same time, but sorry about that. Anyways, Earl says, how's Japan treating me? It's treating me great. Enjoying myself. So I got here a few days ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago now. And I ended up sitting in with my old boss and amazing musician, songwriter, artist, Tsuyoshi Nagabuchi. So he had 2 shows this week at the Ariake Arena here, and I sat in on a song each night. That was really fun. Great to reconnect and play here. So you might have seen some of that on my Instagram. And then yesterday I did a clinic at the Big Boss ESP store in Ochara-Mizu, which was really fun and just really enjoyed it. And so thanks to Okada and Suhr. Okada is a Suhr distributor here in Japan, and the Big Boss for hosting. And to all the people that came, it was really fun. Tomorrow I have a clinic at Musicians Institute here just for the students at MI. So I'm looking forward to that. And then the following day I'll go to Kyoto and do one for Watabani Gaki. I think I'm saying that right. I hope so. So I'll be in Kyoto in 2 days for that. And then back to Tokyo just for a few days to chill. That's the plan. What's up, Tom Lind? How are you? Andy, what's up? Good to see you guys. Here was an attendee from yesterday. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know, but it already started. Yeah, sorry about that. If you missed it, that's a bummer. It was really fun. I had a great time. It was two PT15s with 2 PT112s, and they had a nice little monitor set up there and everything. It was nice and loud. It sounded really good to me. It's cool. Let's see here. Could I run from the effects and from the preamp into the effects return of the PT15 and use the internal load box for direct recording? Effects send from, oh, I see. Effects send from 1 amp into the effects return of the PT15. Maybe. It's more dependent on the amp that you're using. If you can, like, if when you break the connection, you know, to the, like, it's hard to say. You take that send, and you don't have a cabinet plugged in because that wouldn't be, safe really. But if you have, say, the master volume down on your amp, and if the master is post the effect loop, it should be safe. If it's down, will your amp actually send a signal out of the send to you know, the return of the PT15, then you can use this power amp and internal load box and get the sound of the preamp of your other amp, is what you're trying to ask me, I think. And the answer is maybe. You're probably safe to try it, I would say, because you're not going to get any sound coming out of the speaker of your amp. You're going to hurt your amp, I don't think, if you just you break the connection by going to the power amp by using the send of. It's just amplifier dependent if it'll work or not. There might be no sound. I'm just not sure. Give it a try and see if it works. Chris Clarkson, what's up, man? How are you? Man, seems like a lifetime ago that we were together. Actually, it doesn't. It seems like just yesterday. Did some clinics in really, really good ones in Michigan that I super enjoyed, as well as one in Sweetwater, which was really enjoyable as well. But I was so stoked. The first one of this kind of run, 125 people we had or so at Firehouse Guitars in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It was really awesome. I was so stoked that the turnout and everybody was enthusiastic and fun, so it was good. Yeah. Eston, good to see you in Japan. Yeah, man, it's good to be here. This is sitting right here, to be honest. I mean, this little coffee shop is like, this is not a daily thing for me, but I come here a lot. The coffee is like rocket fuel, so it's really good. This 16-ounce latte has 4 shots in it. That'll get you on. A little jet lag here. Actually, I should mention too. So this place is called the Roastery. Right upstairs is a place called the Smokehouse, and it's really, really good barbecue, which is not what you come to Tokyo for, probably. But it's literally like Southern style barbecue. Great if you're in Tokyo and you've been here for a while and you're like, I love sushi, but I just can't eat another sushi meal or ramen or whatever. You're like, you know what sounds good right now? A burger or some barbecue chicken or something. You go up there. They do great barbecues. Or great barbecue, and it's like really legit, like super solid. They used to play the Crossroads Guitar Festival videos up there all the time. So you'd go up and on the TVs, it'd be like, you know, Doyle Bramwell and Eric Clapton and B.B. King. And it was really cool. So good to know about though if you're here. And it's walkable from Shibuya Station, very walkable. You know, I know that, let's go find Dean Castro and get you some Journey passes. Do you know, I actually noticed they were playing here the other day, and I thought about hitting up Neil. But then I realized I'm in Kyoto that day. So the day they're playing Budokan, I won't be in Tokyo. So they'll go for me. Man, there's a lot of people here. Tonight I'm having dinner with my friends Shingo and Daya from Bemaram and Mateus Asato, who's here for I think just his honeymoon. I believe he got married. And so they set up a dinner and invited me, and so I'm really excited about that. To hang with all those guys. I haven't talked to Mateus in a long time, so it'd be nice to connect with him. So, and Andy Timmons was here the other day. I just missed him. That was unfortunate. Really wish I'd seen him. So, let's see. Should PT15 112 cab be stored grilled up or grilled down? Generally grilled up. I think there's I don't really worry about it that much, but I did hear there's a thing with like storing a cabinet or, you know, in the car or whatever with the magnet down. I don't really think it matters, to be honest, but I think it's safe if the cab is on its back with the speaker facing up. So I'm just going to go inside here and actually plug my phone in because there's outlets in here. You guys let me know if you can't hear me, please. I'll just show you this coffee shop one more time. I love it here. Donuts. Really good donuts. Donuts and roast their own beans. Fantastic. I'm just going to get my charger out because I plan to walk all day after this. Go to some guitar shops and stuff. I'm going to go to Hyper Guitars, I think. Yeah, some other spots. look around and see some nice instruments. The store called Hyper Guitars. There's a really, really good vintage store. Actually happens to be right by the new Fender 5-floor extravaganza in Harajuku, so I'll go hit those. Look at some guitars and stuff. Make sure my phone is charging here. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Set me up for the rest of the day. All right. And let me know if you have any trouble hearing me, please, because I'll try just using the mic on the phone. If I'm hesitant about AirPods, which I'm using right now. Let's see here. Did not expect late night Sunday live. Great to see you. Thanks very much. Yeah, I decided to do it now just because the option is either go live close to the time I usually do, which is like middle of the night here, like literally like, well, I think 11 a.m. is it 3 a.m. Tokyo time or 2 a.m. So I can't really do that. I did just screw up the whole trip. So, anyways, yeah. So, well, it sounds good here, says Earl. Good. Will you be at NAMM? Yeah, I'm going to be at NAMM Friday. I'll be at the booth if anybody's there. I'll probably be there Saturday morning, maybe until noon, just for a couple hours, and then I got to split. I'm literally coming over because I got something coming that's kind of cool, so I got to be there for that. Can't tell you what it is yet, but it's going to be cool. But anyway, so I want to be there for that. So Friday I'll be there. I believe the first day of the show is Thursday. Can't be there the Thursday because I'm actually playing in Scotland. So literally flying from Edinburgh to London, LA, get off the plane, go straight to Anaheim, I think, and hole up there for a couple days. Yeah, that's my plan. So and then Saturday I got to fly back Saturday evening, and I'll be in Bournemouth on Sunday for a gig in the UK. So it'll be a busy, crazy time, and I should be very jet lagged, but enjoying myself. It's a common breakfast in Japan. You know, kind of the traditional breakfast was like fish and rice and sometimes like a little like mountain potato and like some other things. But that's like very like everybody eats, you know, waffles here now and stuff. You know, I mean, there's a lot of like I don't know. I mean, like you know, shops that have all the same stuff that you see anywhere else. I guess. Well, I still like, man, I'll go to Yoshinoya and get like the, you know, like salmon and, you know, an egg and rice. It's pretty good and super cheap. There's actually the hotel I used to stay in when I came here on tour a lot. They had this great Japanese breakfast, and it was always like gohan, sakana, a little fish, a little rice, and I say like it's mountain potato and like soup and stuff like that. Very sort of different breakfast, I suppose, than what we're used to in the U.S. or maybe if you're in Europe or something. But yeah. Let's see here. I wanted a nice stereo rig, and I already have a Frieden PT20 version 2. So the IRD and IRJ seems like a good fit for a stereo rig. Well, the only problem you're going to run into is there's a little latency with the IRs. Like, it's short, it's like a millisecond, 1.2 milliseconds or something. But that's going to be home filtery with the other amp if you're running direct, unless you disable the IR. Yeah, there's probably a way to make it work and make it sound good, but it might be a little more difficult than you think it is. Anytime you're combining an amp with something digital, you're going to run into that. So, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just something to consider. You can try it and you'll notice the home filtery sound when you put them together, and when you try and timeline them somehow, it's a little more involved. Let's see here. I hope you have a Fractal VR4 to demo in your queue. You know, I would love to. To be honest, I haven't talked to the folks from Fractal for a while. I should connect. It looks like a great unit. Like, you know, really cool, simple effects meant to be used with amps. I like that. Seems like a great product. So I'd love to try it and go for it. Yeah, 4 cable method into PT15, probably really cool. Maybe I'll hit up Matt and see Cooper. I just haven't spoken to anybody from Fractal for a while. Excuse me. Sunday live from Tokyo Mix for lunchtime viewing here in Australia. Yeah, I think you're on the same time as me right now. Pretty close, anyway. Maybe it's a little later there. Just a little. Any clinics at InStuff in Pittsburgh? You know, we've talked about it. I'd love to do this clinic that I've developed at InStuff for sure. That was a great time. The last time I went there, I thought it was a really nice venue they have there. Super cool. So I'll try and make that happen in the new year. There will be even more reason to do clinics in the new year, just because, like I say, I have stuff coming, stuff like that I can't talk about right now. But anyways. Yeah, quick gear question. Would you prefer a new SA-126 or Epiphone? Oh, is that that's the EVH, right? Or an Epiphone 355. I don't know. I mean, I've tried both. So guitar dependent, you know. It's hard to say what I prefer. I haven't tried the EVH version of the hollow body like Wolf plays, but looks cool. I guess he was playing yesterday with Maynard, you know, inducting Ozzy into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist. So he played some on Instagram playing the Crazy Train solo. It sounded good. So, yeah, the guitar looks really cool. I think it's bolt-on, right? Pretty sure it's bolt-on, so it's a pretty different guitar than, you know, than the kind of the glue-in neck, more traditional, you know, Gibson style. I don't know the scale length on it either. That'd be a good question. Like scale length on the EVH, is it 24 3/4, or is it a more like a Fender scale length? Hard to say. There's a super chat there. Let's see. Just gonna light that up in a second. Just 1 sec here. There's a little chaos here. We appreciate your dedication and commitment to your community. Always wishing you the best. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Oh, it's always good to be here, and I wouldn't miss it. You know, take it very seriously, actually. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, let's see here. To clarify, I didn't mean that I was going to use the IRJ and IRD with the PT20. I just meant that I bought the IRJ and IRD because I love my PT20. Oh, yeah, you could use those two together in stereo. Probably sound great. A little darker, one of them the IR, and a little lower gain, and then the other one be pretty really cool. That'll work. Those will be the same as long as the firmware is the same on both of them. The you know, shouldn't have any latency or anything like that. It'll probably sound great in stereo, I would think. Where's that super chat? How do I light that up? Let me see. There it is. That's Tim. Thanks for that, man. Appreciate it. After dark Eastern time, just getting here. Hope all is well. Hey, good to see you. All is really good. Stoked. Day off today. Where I've sort of got no agenda other than a planned dinner later, so just gonna look at guitar stores, I think, and other stuff. Walk around, have fun, drink coffee all day. Sitting in my favorite, one of my favorite. There's many, so it's hard to pick favorite, but absolutely one of the top 5 in Tokyo coffee shops. Drinking rocket fuel coffee, delish. Let's see here. Wanting to use my early 800 2204 live, but I really would like an effects loop. Should I use my PS100? Yeah. Just use the PS100. Then you can crank the amp and actually get that amp. I mean, you know, yes, you're going to use power tubes a little faster, but that amp is going to sound great with the master opened up. 6. Crank the master up, turn the preamp gain down a little bit, and enjoy. It'll make that amp a whole new beast. That they sound fantastic. That's Thorn DeMartini thing. An 800, opened up, really cool. With the volume knob dialed back, the preamp gain dialed back a little bit. Very, very good sound. Looks a little different than a Plexi, a little more gain than a Plexi, which can be a good thing, right? And then the preamp gain dialed back engages that 100 or 1,000 picofarad bright cap a little bit, just tightens it up a little bit. You get more of the power amp distortion then, and watch out, good tone, really good tone. Yeah, in my opinion. So, thanks for thanks for all do answering our questions. Hey, I appreciate it. Something for the coffee. I appreciate it. Thank you. My pleasure. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. Are you spending any extra leisure time? Yeah. I sort of ended up a little busier than I thought I was going to be here, actually. I thought I was going to have more leisure time, but that's fine. Happy to be here doing what I'm doing, 100%. But it's been a busy few days, so today's kind of my first real chill day. I've been here about 4 days, and I get to kind of just chill and walk around, and not a lot of agenda today. Tomorrow I'll have a clinic at MI, so tomorrow will be just a busy day in the middle, sort of, but all good. Following day, I'll take the Shinkansen down to Kyoto, which is just a couple hours, and do a clinic in Kyoto, spend the night there, come back here the following day and have the rest of the day off, and then I'll have another 2 or 3 days off here, and then I'll come home. Really, towards the end of this trip is wide open time. It's great. Looking forward to that. So, our guitar says, very nice. Yeah, I'm stoked. Really happy to be here. It's fun. I always love it. Been working on my Duolingo every day. Mainichi benkyou shite, studying my Nihongo. Trying to get it in my head, absorb it, and making a lot of mistakes, saying things, but falling flat on my face with it. But I feel like that's how you learn. Kind of like guitar playing. Joshua says, gotta go. Chores tonight are calling me. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And take care. How do Kyoto and Tokyo compare? Oh, very different. Kyoto's much smaller, very beautiful. Not that Tokyo's not beautiful in place, but Tokyo's a much more. It'd be like comparing, I don't know, a nice small city in America to New York City. So that's a good example. I don't know. I can't think of a good example. I'm trying to think of a nice small American city. Somebody help me out here. Pasadena? No. I mean, there's not really a lot of comparison. It'd be like comparing Bath, England to London, I think. Both great, but is that a good comparison for the folks in England? There's probably nobody up in England right now watching this in the middle of the night there. But I think something like that, a historical, beautiful, smaller city to a great big metropolis that's bustling and really fun and overwhelming at times. Yeah, but a blast. How far between the two cities? Well, it's not super close, but when you got a train that goes, over 200 kilometers an hour, it's not a long trip. I think it takes 2.5 hours. If you drove it by car, it'd probably be 8 hours or something, 7 or 6 or something. I'm guessing. It's far enough that you can fly, and it would make sense. But nobody flies here; they take the train. Literally, you go walk on the train. You can get to the station 15, 20 minutes before the train goes. Walk on the train. The train is moving before you even sit in your seat. It's silent and smooth. And within 3 minutes, it's going 150 kilometers an hour. And it's just a relaxed, beautiful ride. You go by Mount Fuji on the way. It's very beautiful. And then you end up in Kyoto. It's kind of one stop or two stops from Osaka, so very close to there. Yeah, let's see. Pete is there to discuss his terms for signing with Halen. No. No. Nothing against Ibanez, though. I like Ibanez. I like the nice folks there. Yeah. I swear, YouTube chat purposely cuts words. I feel that way about Siri and everything these days. Like, how come it's not getting better? It seems to be getting worse. Like all the AI or stuff that's supposed to make all this communication easier. It's more sketchy than ever. Think about getting the Boss EVH 3000. Will it sound good going through one? I think you're saying through 1 amp. It works great in mono, as good as can be expected, but it doesn't have that dimensional thing that it will in stereo, which is physics. There's no way around that. But it's a terrific delay, and then you've always got room to grow when you go to it's a great. Think of it as just being a really, really great sounding digital delay that's more sophisticated than most, with the options for filtering as well as modulation. So you can get some really great. You can use it as a chorus if you want to. I mean, imagine you run two delays, because there's two delay engines in it. It's like having two original SDs, really. You could use one as a chorus and use the other one as a delay in series and get there's all kinds of ways you can use it effectively into a mono amp. It's not the easiest pedal to get your head around, but put the time in, you make your presets and stuff, and you'll end up with some terrific sounds. Favorite restaurant? Too hard to pick. There's so many. I don't have a favorite, but went for terrific sushi last night. It's the amount of food per square mile is just like the restaurant choices. It's just like endless, and then not only that, they're all full. So many people, so it's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's an incredible place. Tell the MI students what Tommy Tedesco said. There's no money above the 12th fret. Man, I got to see Tommy at MI in, you make me think, MI in LA, of course. And he was a gem, like really self-deprecating and like funny. And for as successful as he just seemed really humble and 2 feet on the ground and a lot of funny stories. And I just really seemed like a great guy. So I'm really glad I got to witness that and be at some of those events that he did at MI way back in 1990. Box, yes or no? Use one for under 1K. I mean, it's a hell of a thing to have for getting direct sounds that are pretty darn realistic and stuff. There's a lot of other stuff out there now, those units and stuff, but UA they did it in their own way, and for what it is, I think it's quite fantastic. Really, I use it still when I want to get, like, let's say a Brian May kind of sound, and because at my studio, even though I mic cabs and everything in my studio, I don't have the ability to do room mics really. So if I want to get like a mic'd up room sound, and maybe a cranked AC30 Brian May thing, I can kind of nail that with the aux, because it's got those great room mic simulations built in, as well as the effects and stuff. And just pull up the AC30 style cabinet in there, pull in the room mics, killer. It sounds really, really, really good for that. So I'll use it for things like that. And the effects. I mean, I used it on Thorn too a lot. I recorded through it and used, some of I'd have delays dialed up and stuff, and I'd cut a solo, and I'd be like, I'm just gonna. It sounds good. I'm just gonna do this. Like, I used it. I remember at home. where I used to live, and I couldn't record guitars there. It was like an apartment. Um, couldn't record guitars with mics, I should say, cabinets. And so I used it for solos and primary parts on Thorn too. And I would just print the effects and stuff because it would sound so good. It's kind of a commitment, but it was cool. It sounded really good to me. So yeah. What else we got here? Let's see. It's not hot in Itinerary today, but every day is exciting. Yeah, that's sweet, Janai. It went from being like really hot and humid here, like summertime feeling still, like around 80 degrees with a lot of humidity, to today I'm like 2 shirts and a jacket weather. Like it's fall all of a sudden in 4 days. It changed completely. I guess that's Japan. You know. I find Japan climate to be a little like New York in some ways. Like, the humidity, sort of extremes, really, really hot in the summer, and quite cold in the winter, and humid and wet, cold, and all that. So, if you're playing in a local cover band, what kind of rig would you use? I'm looking at the Helix, but very old school tube amps, solid state. Mode res. Sorry, I don't know what that means, but what kind of rig would I use in a local cover band? Well, I mean, you can use the Helix 4 cable with your amp. If you've got an amp and you just need some effects. But if you're like, I just want to go direct, it's kind of interesting. One of the guitar players with Tyoshi Negabuchi here, he's using a Helix, which I actually think I hooked him up with Line 6 back when I was here, 2018. We got a couple of Helixes. But he's using the Helix with a orange power amp. So he's got the orange pedal baby, I think it's called. He's running that into a Marshall 212, and he's running IRs to the PA. Now, Ichiro is like a blues guitar player that, like a really good blues guitar player that he plays rock too, but that's his part is the blues. And, Fenders and 2 rock, and he was using a Seriatone clone of a Dumble on one tour we did here, that kind of thing. Now he's using a Helix into the pedal baby for just a little bit of on-stage cab sound, and then IRs to the PA. And he's got his head around it, so it could be a good choice for you. And maybe you want to. I'm just saying for the feel cabinet and that kind of thing, you might want to go with the, like use something like a pedal baby or some kind of power amp into a cabinet, and then run 2 path so that you've got IRs maybe going to the mixer or whatever. And then, so you don't need a mica cab, but have a cab just to make yourself feel comfortable. And generally speaking, when people say they want to, that they're traditional, like they like tube amps and stuff, but they want to try a modeler, I'll recommend that they would keep a cabinet, use a power amp in a cabinet so that it feels like a guitar amp still to you. But you've got to kind of gain the advantage of the versatility and effects and all the stuff that comes with the modeler as well. Hopefully that makes sense. You'll probably be more comfortable. It's more stuff to bring, but you'll like it more, I think. Great to see you again. Question: I picked up a 2018 Les Paul Standard, and the bridge pickup is nowhere near hot enough. Any thoughts for a high gain, non-active pickup for rock and roll I can put in it? I'm really liking the Suhr SSH Plus. It's dark in a way that I like for a high gain pickup. Into gain, you'll probably like it a lot. It doesn't have the sparkle and stuff of the Thornbucker. It's a different sound for, there's things that you can't do with it. But if you want a hot pickup and you want that kind of warm, powerful, darker sound that hits an amp with, try the SSH Plus, I would say, from Suhr. Similar to a JV, maybe, in some ways. What else would you try? mean, a Thornbucker 2 is a 9K PAF thing, so if you want a little bit of heat over a PAF, but you still want a warm, kind of powerful sound, give that a try. Different sound, but the Thornbucker 2 would be more than, overwhelmed PAF. SSH Plus, definitely high gain hot. Yeah. Think Foo Fighters, STP, Alice in Chains. The Foo Fighters to me sort of use an STP. STP is, Dean uses a lot of P90s. He's kind of more of that kind of hot single coil guy, I think, in my opinion. For Alice in Chains, I think he was using some Motor City pickups for a while. I'm not sure what he uses now. But I would say that SSH Plus, Les Paul would do that, no problem. Foo Fighters to me are more like PAF-y guys, I mean, not in particular, but like the Dave Grohl model, for instance, uses burst puckers, right? This trainee style guitar. So he's more like, not really super distorted, but grindy amps. He uses PT100s, actually. So he uses a couple PT100s, and he uses Tone Masters, Fender Tone Masters. So it's more like hot amps with vintage-style pickups. Rock and roll, For a while, he was a Mesa guy, I think. Yeah. Got some super chats here I'm going to catch. I'm going to go soon because I want to go to Hyper Guitars. I'll post some pictures later on my other social media. Something for the coffee phone. Thank you. Still love my Suhr HH red one. That's one of my favorites, man. I mean, my Garnet Red HH. I love that guitar. Actually, you just made me think about it right now. I miss that guitar. It's like, wish I had it right here. Yeah. Love it. And then there's one other super chat there. I got to grab that one. Kyle was able to get a Suhr Aura number 100. Wow, you got that. That's kind of cool, man. You got the last serial number. Pretty neat. Best guitar ever. Aren't they great, man? The Aura is like, it stays in tune. Like John just fixed all the problems that happened with the Les Paul. Like the tuning is outstanding. So cool. So, and the tone is killer. I mean, it's what you want, I love the Aura, man. I used it in, what was the last video that I did? The Friedman IRJ video. And I used the Aura in that. And, man, I just love the sound. And the guitar just plays like a dream, stays in tune so good. So, anyway, just a wonderful guitar. Incredible guitar. Yeah. Drooling over the shopping spree. I think you're talking about my go and look at guitar stuff. But what's my take on the recent Alex Van Halen book quotes? Must be a reason he omits Sammy from the book. I don't know. Maybe there's just I'd like to think that Alex appreciates that they did some great musical work with Sammy. He probably just, I think there was some business that went down that maybe never sat well with him, and maybe that colors what he says. I'm speculating, I don't want to put words in a guy's mouth, but just, and not necessarily related to like Van Halen, more related to other business dealings they had, with other projects, and I think I'm only speculating that maybe Alex is like not going to speak well of him, but I don't know. I mean, which is not siding with anybody's side of that, because I don't really know, but I'm only speculating. but maybe not. Let's assume that maybe he does consider the Dave years to be the true sort of Van Halen, and that Dave was the singer. It's interesting because he kind of, I haven't read the book. The book's out today, tomorrow, 22nd? What day is it today? I mean, the 21st today, so it must come out tomorrow. 21st today, right? It is here. Not where you are, probably, but I'm in the future. But anyways, just kind of read the Rolling Stone stuff, so I'm getting the book, and I'll read it, and I'll have a better perspective. But let's assume that he does consider the Dave years to be that was the true whatever, the original thing, the real Van Halen or whatever. I don't know. If he really thinks that, it's interesting. He kind of lays it all out. He's like, when Dave, didn't want to honor Eddie or whatever in whatever type of show they were trying to put together. That it's like, screw that, and he was like really pissed off. And of course, he had his brother's back on that. But at the same time, he kind of gives Dave a lot of props for being like that was Van Halen, us. So it's interesting because it's like he's standing above it and looking back on it and down on it. Like he's got a total perspective on it, even if what Dave did really pisses him off. So it's interesting. I don't know, man. I mean, I find it amazing though that these guys sometimes in bands, I guess I'm mainly referring to Dave here, don't have a perspective, it seems, on that the chemistry is what at least the fans perceive as being magic. A band is like a gang of superheroes, and when you change out one element, it changes, and it's not just you, it's the other guys as well, and that goes for everybody in bands, whether you're the bass player or the drummer or the lead singer or the guitar player, everybody's important, and at least as fans, I remember growing up as a kid and being fans of bands, that's how we perceive it, and when a member, one member, no matter how important that member is if they're the primary writer or whatever, when they don't recognize that is not appealing to us as fans. I'm speaking as a fan now, that it's frustrating, and it diminishes the legacy when one of the primary members diminishes the importance of other members through things they say, or attempts to. Now, when we're talking about Eddie Van Halen, it's like, I'm sorry, there's no Van Halen without Van Halen. And yes, Dave was absolutely, you can't diminish Dave either, But I think Ed had a perspective on that, Through conversations I had with him, he had a very, very clear perspective on that. Like a personal, now I'm speaking personally. He knew that Dave's contributions and the way that other people perceived the band, and he didn't have any delusion about that. At least not in later years. Maybe in the '80s or whatever, there was a time where it's like, well, I even think then. I think he said he was really sad when Dave left, or depressed. Like he said that publicly. That was a dark time, and then the fact that they got Sammy, he was elated because he felt like this is going great now. But I think there was a moment after Dave left where he couldn't believe it. So I think even Alex said that too. So, but anyway, definitely later on, Ed was like, even frustrations with Dave or having to do it. He knew his value, and that he was important, and he recognized that. And I think I just sense that Dave has this, well, I came up with everything anyway attitude sometimes. Let's just be honest about it. That like, that was all me anyway. It was my ideas, and they just did what I said. And it's just like, come on, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just not. I don't know. It's just, I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's like, but I'm also not I guess it's good I don't get it, because if you did get it, you'd be like, well, yeah, I understand. I mean, I just, I don't know. I don't want to even say anything else anymore about it. But it's nothing that I don't think I wouldn't just say to that guy's face, to be honest. Like, at this point, it's just like, come on, man. You've got to recognize that, that what came from that guy's heart and hands and mind, and then everybody else as well, of course, as a part of the chemistry. But so important what came from Eddie, you know, to the Van Halen legacy. I mean, I feel like I'm stating the obvious. I am stating the obvious, but anyways, all right, you guys. I think I should go and go. Been here about 45 minutes, so that's about what I plan to do. Gonna take off and go explore. I'll post some pictures and stuff today, maybe Instagram story or stuff, or if I see anything cool enough, I'll just do an IG post. But you know, Hyper Guitar is one of the best vintage guitar stores I've ever been to, so I'm about to head there. Later on today, I think I'll go to Daikanyama, hit up Guitar Trader, hopefully, and then go meet Daya and Shingo, my friends from Bemaram, and Mateus for dinner later. So it's a good day. Today's a good day. There'll be bad days, but today's not one of them. I was trying to keep a perspective on that, you know. It's the silver lining of having bad things happen in your life. I feel like I had more perspective on when you have really bad times and then things improve a little bit, you have a better sense of like, wow, today's a good day. I feel good today. You know, there'll be bad days, but today's not one of them, I like to say. So I'm trying to be present in that. So I'm going to go do that. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for tuning in at a strange time, and because I know it was a probably odd 7 p.m. It's a weird Sunday night. But anyways, I'm glad it worked out. It's a good place to do it too. Internet works great here. Probably do this again next. Okay, let me just see. You know what? I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I'm not gonna get in the calendar and stuff and look. But 6, 7, a week from today. I think I may be traveling home at this time next week, so I might have to miss a week because I might be at the airport or something. So it might be difficult to do Sunday Live next week, but don't quote me on that. Might be here same time, same place. If it's possible, I'll do it. Probably sitting right in this place from the lovely roastery in Shibuya, sort of heritage. One of my favorite coffee places in the world. All right, everybody take care. Have a great week. Thanks for tuning in. See ya. Mata ne.